Zero is not evil. Now that might sound crazy. The man who everyone fears in the back of their minds, the man who nearly caused the extinction of humanity. But he's not evil. He was framed. In this video, I'll be talking about a theory where Zero isn't evil, but is framed. So spoilers, maybe, if I'm correct at least. So let's have some fun with this theory. I would like to propose a question first. Was Smile evil? Even when he got consumed by fear, he wasn't evil. It was just fear that took over. So going back to Zero, let's take a look at the timeline. Zero was born on 18 BC, just 3 years after OG Soul, and the function of trust value was discovered on 5 BC. So Zero would be 13 at this time, and in just 2 years, he would ascend to godhood. A 15-year-old kid ascending to godhood. Now you guys might think otherwise, but that's just a little crazy. Now let's add some more details. Mickey was born just 3 years after Zero, making him 12 when Zero is 15. And Mickey knows that Uncle Rock's father created Zero. So it's safe to say that Mickey was in that circle of people. He probably knew Zero and knew Uncle Rock's father. And to add on, he was the world's first hero, worshipped by the people. In a world with no heroes, the first hero was a 15-year-old kid. I find that very interesting. Mickey said Rock's father created Zero. Maybe Zero came from struggle. He didn't have a roof over his head, easy means to find ways to eat. What if he was struggling and he had a sibling, a younger sister, and he tried to protect them? Uncle Rock's father saw his potential and recruited him, promising he wouldn't have to live like this anymore, that he'll take care of him, or at least shelter him, for something in return. Zero, with his back against the wall, nowhere to go, he accepted the deal. To keep his little sister safe, he got trained to be a hero in a world with no heroes. Uncle Rock's father put this kid in the spotlight, making sure everyone saw him, worshipped him, and eventually, when the function of trust got discovered, he rose to the top. In just 2 short years, he became godlike, having the trust of the people in the palm of his hands. But even with all that power, that's not what he wanted. All Zero ever wanted was to keep his sister safe. So in order to keep her safe, despite probably not even wanting to be a hero, he went through with it. He never wanted his sister to go through what they went through when they were young ever again. So he kept going, listening to Rock's father, doing what he wanted in return. But I think it's safe to say that Zero wasn't the only hero. He was the first, but not the only one. When you're at the top, there's always someone watching, wishing that was them, envying you, becoming jealous, wanting to have that power for themselves, wanting to tear you down. But I want to explain some details that will be helpful when thinking about this theory. In this picture, we see Zero with 5 different items. There's a ball, what looks to be a mail envelope, a teddy bear, a microphone, and a present. Now I believe this all connects to him having a little sister that he can't regularly see because he's a hero, and not just a regular hero, a hero that ascended to godhood. So he'll regularly send her mail just to see how she's doing. I would assume the gifts he got her when he's going to see her in person was the microphone, the teddy bear, wrapped up in the gift box. And the ball would just be a toy in there as well. Also, Rock idolized Zero, probably looked up to him. Mickey said overnight, everything changed. Now, this is the part of the theory that I think multiple possibilities could happen. So I'll give 3 possibilities. 1. Zero probably had some free time. He ascended to godhood, so he had a lot of things to do. He had his hands full. He couldn't spend as much time as he wanted with his little sister, so instead, he got her some gifts. Some gifts, so when he comes back to see her, he'll at least have something to give to her, something to make her happy. Zero walks in the door and sees his sister dead on the floor in front of a hero. This would be the hero that wanted to take down Zero's image, and when he sees this, he snaps. He goes berserk and kills him, killing the hero and making the scene so disturbing that when someone shows up, they see the scene left by Zero and they fear Zero. Maybe it's like a maid that popped in the room and saw this. I would assume Rock's father is rich, as he used his father's riches to ensure his spot in FOMO. So they probably live in a big mansion, or at least an expensive one. So when she saw this, she thought Zero went mad, killed his sister and a hero, and then the dominoes fell, and fear eventually consumed Zero, leading to the Dawnfall incident. And this ties into what Isol told Zero. Why would he do this, knowing that Zero wasn't the type of person to create all this destruction? Option 2. Zero gets there and sees the hero messing with his sister. He then goes to protect his sister and in the process kills the hero. This causes a huge commotion and everyone shows up. Zero goes to comfort his sister, but she runs to the maids, to the people who've been taking care of her. She screams in fear and says he did it. He's evil. The people question what she's talking about. They look at Zero and see blood all over him. They walk into the room only to see a gruesome sight so terrifying that it makes them step back. This one incident caused them to plant the seed of fear, causing Zero to be consumed by it. Rock's father, not wanting to lose everything he built, not wanting to sink with the ship, he blames it all on Zero, shouting it out loud for everyone to hear. And soon, the whole world fears Zero, causing the Dawnfall incident. Now this is option 3. Zero, who is now 16 years old, got some gifts for his little sister, who he always wanted to protect. He went to Rock's father's mansion where she would be. Zero walks in and goes to see his sister. Zero says he has presents, gifts for his sister. His sister is surprised to see him. As she's going to see her brother, Zero sees a certain hero behind her. A hero who he's never liked. A hero who was jealous of his power, of him being number 1. He sees this hero in what he's about to do. He's about to kill his sister. Right as he's about to kill her, Zero interferes, stops the man, and claims his acts of trying to kill his sister is unforgivable. He punches and punches this hero until he's a bloody pulp. His gifts on the floor, splattered with blood all over them, and his sister, who watches Zero punch and punch on this person. In total fear, she screams, "Stop!" Zero hears her scream, worried that she's in more trouble, but in fact, she's looking at him in total fear. Zero tries to explain, and when he tries to walk towards her, she steps back. In the midst of all this noise, Rock's father and people in the mansion come to see what's wrong, what's going on, as they didn't want Zero's sister to be in danger. But when they see the scene, they're in total shock. Zero's sister says, "My brother wouldn't do this. He's not the type to kill. Who are you? You're not the same person I once knew. You're not my brother." They all look at Zero and the seeds of fear start to grow in their hearts. But Rock's father tries to cover up the situation, not wanting to lose everything he worked towards. He tries to come up with a plan, but it's too late. The fear is already growing, and they start to run in fear that they might be next. One picks up Zero's sister and runs with her. In all this chaos, Uncle Rock's father doesn't know what to do. He gets mad, screaming at Zero. How could you do this? Everything will fall. This whole thing I built will come burning down. While this is going on, the news about Zero is spreading like wildfire. Zero kills this beloved hero. Why would he do this? What is his real goal? Soon, everyone fears Zero. Zero tries to explain the situation, but everything happens so fast, and eventually he is consumed by fear, framed by a hero, and the one person he loved so much, the one person he wanted to protect. The whole reason why he went down this path was scared of him, feared him, and all this consumed Zero and ultimately led to the Dawnfall incident. This theory explains a lot of the information that we currently have. Rock got his father's inheritance. His inheritance was from all the money he gained by being the manager of Zero. This would explain the pictures in the PV of the different toys and gifts. This would explain why a 16-year-old boy would ultimately be consumed by fear. This would explain why everyone thinks he wrongfully killed this hero. He was framed. And this would ultimately parallel some of the heroes we see today, including Lin Ling and Nice, one who was forced in the spotlight and manipulated by the others behind the scenes, and someone who will do anything to protect the one they love so much, ultimately for them to be gone. Thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, comment below some information you would add or take out of this theory, or just your thoughts of this theory, and comment some of your theories on Zero and what really happened. Also, comment below who do you think will be the next Zero. See you guys in the next video.